Alright, here is your throttle cable and kill switch assembly. I'll show you how to put this thing together real quick. It's pretty simple. Find the piece that looks like a little elbow, pull the throttle up, go through this section right here at the very end. You'll see it. Twist it up, lock her in place. Well, more twist. There you go. That locks in place. The cable's in. It goes just like that. Now, next thing you want to do is grab the handlebar. It has a little notch in there. See it where the thing goes? It goes. Slide that in, wrap it around, and it sits just like that. Carburetor. There's a piece in here. Like a brass cylinder inside that goes to this part on the top, drops in. But it pissed me off trying to get this stupid throttle cable and assembly all together because it sucks and I hate it. But I figured it out. Spring goes in there. This little brass thing has 3 pieces in it. It consists of like 3 pieces. The brass cylinder itself, got a little needle with a C-clip on it, and you got this little Pac-Man shape washer. What happens here is on the deep side of the cylinder wall, put the Pac-Man nut in there, whatever you want to call it. Then the needle itself goes down with the C-clip on top of the dish and it sticks down like that. Next part, you got a spring in there. It goes into the deep side and it holds everything down except for the needle. That makes it slide upside and down inside the carburetor itself. Now the easiest way to get this stupid little prong in here, it has to seat in this little notch right there. That's what it sits in. Alright, you got it. Best way I could come up with, and it takes maybe like 10 seconds. Put the spring on there, then compress the spring a little bit just to expose the top. Then just go ahead and seat it just like so. Pull it all the way along the notch, or not. It'll kind of look like this, which is wrong obviously. Just pull the spring back, feed it through the little slot, let the spring go down, and that's how it goes together. Then all you have to do is inside of the top of the carburetor, if you're looking at it like this, it's the top, there's a tiny little brass ball in there that you actually slide along the notch part. If you mess that up, you're going to fuck up your carburetor. Excuse my language. So, put that down, find the notch, then basically just thread it on there. Don't cross thread it because you don't want that to be busted. On this. But so far, I've mounted the gas tank firmly to the frame with the universal mounting brackets that came with the kit. And if you look closely right here, you'll see material in there, and I also put it behind this block to dampen the vibrations of the actual motor. Now, I was going to use rubber, but the handlebars that came on the kit, they're like already like a foam kind of rubber. And all I have to really do is just cut it and put it on there, and now it's pretty solid. So I did the same thing up there with the gas tank. So when it's vibrating on the frame, it doesn't, you know. Alright, this piece right here, that's on your back wheel, you have to get that off in order to get the sprocket on to the actual wheel itself. But this little nut right there is going to frustrate the hell out of you. Easiest way that I got it off was I took the chain off and everything, and I tightened that side over there. That side, the far side, is tight. This side is loose. So I can do it with my finger. Take whatever wrench you want to, get up under there, and loosen that damn thing. There, that's loose. Also, keep this little doohickey right here. Keep that on there just so it doesn't, move this If you loosen that and it takes off and you try and take it off, your wheel's just going to spin. Okay, this is what the sprocket looks like when you put it on. You're going to have to modify this little piece. It fits onto this tooth, like so. Fits in like that. You're going to have to modify this to where it goes from that shape into a much more aggressive curve. Bolts get in the way, so you have to bend this into an extreme angle to clear these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark that and I'm going to bend it, and then it should come out here and guide up on the side of the rail. Then I can just clamp it down and then it would be clear. But I made good progress so far. Anyway, you have to modify this if you have a cruiser bike into an S shape like that. So when you put it on or whatever, it turns, it misses the bolts and doesn't catch. And if you don't do that, your engine won't turn your bike because the little black piece will just catch on these bolts and then just lock your wheel. So make sure to bend it. Okay, I got the chain on the motor. Right, it's not on there permanently. I just have it to show something real quick. See how close the tolerance is between the chain on the bottom with the tensioner and the chain on top? That's way too close. It should be at least 2 fingers, maybe 3. So you're gonna have to take the master link off and everything. This is just loose, but that's the chain tensioner's all the way up. Take that off. You're gonna have to take so far I've taken 1 link out, and I definitely recommend going to a hardware store or to a supply store and getting a chain brake. And this one works absolutely great. And this one, it cost me $32, but it's $32 well spent, and you're really gonna need it. But I got this one at Tractor Supply, so I'm gonna take some links out. Okay, I took out another link in the chain and put it all back together, and that's how it should be. Now, I just tighten this down. I'm going to drill a hole through here, run a bolt through it, and so this doesn't, when the engine gets torqued, this thing doesn't go back and forth and derail your chain, and then you're just not going to go anywhere. So, that's one of my next steps. Okay, so here's something I did with my kill switch on my handlebars. I went and drilled a hole there right after the whatever. And I marked in the center where it actually hooks up to this little doohickey. And I drilled the hole's already drilled there. I just drilled that hole there. It actually feeds through the entire thing. But I don't know. I did that because I thought it would look a lot better than having duct tape twisted around the whole thing. You can do it, whatever. I just think it looks cool. Alright, so here's what I did. Got the kill switch going through there, through the arm, out here. The yellow one, the main one, is actually going through here. Coming out here. And basically all this yellow with the red ties up to the blue right there. And the green one, it's actually the ground. It's going to have to ground it to the frame, so I'm going to ground it right there. But that's how I'm hiding my electricals. Alright, here's something I came across with my engine. My clutch that came with this engine would not disengage the rear tire. So I even had this lever that engages the clutch when you pull the clutch lever, like that. I had it all the way in, and it still wouldn't. It would not disengage the clutch. So went online. I found a forum. It said I need to engage or adjust the clutch itself on the pressure plate. So I already unscrewed this. Basically, what you got to do is you got on the inside of the motor, you got your pressure plate. You got your flower nut. That's this thing. And you got your set screw. Now what you're supposed to do is, if it's too tight like mine was, I'd take the set screw out, just like so. I don't have mine very tight, just to show. Once that's out, you can move this flower nut with your hand, but you got to engage the clutch first. So you engage it, and you can see that. Oh, hold on. Oh, got this little button on the thing. There we go. You can see that that's loose now. And then when I move the bike back and forth, it doesn't engage the gear. When I let the clutch out, it engages the bike. So anyway, to adjust it, pull your clutch lever in to where you'll know where it'll release, and then you can move this flower nut with your hand, your fingers only. Don't have to do a lot because it's not that tight. Don't use tools on it. You'll mess yourself up. And that's what everyone else on that forum says. Don't use tools. So that's how you adjust the clutch. Alright, here we go. I'm riding on my bike. And I stopped over by the shotgun range. Those are the pellets falling around me. So I'm gonna skedaddle. Take a ride over on my bike around the lake.
was fun.